All right, this is me. House slippers because we don't wear shoes in the house. The shirt is loose, but I don't want skin tight stuff. I guess I could go like that. That's what you see from the side. There's my stomach. I got a pooch because I've had some kids. Some people don't get them, but some people do, and that's me. Stomach, pooch, stomach, pooch. Remember, don't confuse. I'm already thinking. Don't confuse that with fupa. Fupa, pooch, stomach. No fupa. I got a pooch. And my stomach. Which I like to call my peanut because it's kind of like two. But anyways, let me turn you guys back around. All right, so now you saw me. It's very naughty that I showed so much of my body, I guess, right now. But I want to give you guys an accurate view of what the doctor, well, the doctor doesn't see this, because he sees me in my abaya. So, the doctor doesn't see me either. You guys are the only ones who have seen me like this. And of course, anybody that would be in this house at this time. And my husband, obviously, sees more. But to my eyeballs, probably because we live in America and there are so many overweight people, but I live on a military base. I'm surrounded by fit people. And and people carry weight differently. I don't know. I don't think I'm that bad off physically. I do have a rounder face. Oh, don't look at my nose. This is not. Oh yeah, I can't show you. But this is not hiding like another neck or chin. Neck. I'd have two heads. I only specify that because I love Girl World. And I know Chantal uses chin spanks. And I just want to say that I'm not hiding anything else under here. I just have big cheeks. My face is more oval. If I were to drop 15 pounds, this would be like the first thing to go. And if you have seen some of my older videos where I was smaller, I had a lot of lines here because my face does gain a lot of weight. My face and my hands are the first thing to gain weight ever. It's so that's why I'm wearing my ruby ring as my wedding ring, because my wedding ring doesn't fit because it's it's too loose. It's too loose because I had it sized up from when I was like 253, and then I never changed the size because I didn't know. I was like, okay, I'm on a roll, and then I saw that I was gaining, then I was losing, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna leave it as is. And now I take off my rings at night because I found out that apparently it's a thing. People swell at night while they're sleeping. I don't know. I personally like to really hydrate myself before I go to bed, even if that means I get up to go to the bathroom in the morning or in the middle. Because the worst thing, I have woken up sometimes so thirsty because the last thing I drank was like at 5 o'clock, So now I make sure I get, 2 ounces of water per pound of weight. So that's a lot of water. Well, no, liquids. Because I'm including in the liquids 2 ounces per pound. I'm including coffee. I'm including tea. I'm including my sparkly water, my regular water, and what I have left of my Coke Zero and Crystal Light. all those liquids I include as my hydration. But anyways, I've been speaking to a dietitian, and she's the one that's like, okay, well, you can have a yogurt for breakfast. And I told her, I think I've shown you guys the yogurt that I eat. I eat the, I forgot. It starts with a P, I think. But you'll see it. It's in a dark blue packaging, and it's 170 calories, just like a shake. But it's 25 grams of protein and not Propel. Anyways, and then I've been having a shake from Fairlife. See, I remember that one because they're extra yummy. From Fairlife for lunch, unless I actually make something. And if I make something, I try to make it as protein green as possible. And then I guess my biggest meal is at dinner. And I weigh that out. It's to the point where I can cut the meat and I know it's 5 ounces, So it's crazy because she's like, well, you're doing the right things. And I'm like, are you taking into account on the fact that I'm on 3 antidepressants, mood stabilizer, and a anti-anxiety? I'm taking what's it called? Lorazepam, Ativan. Lorazepam, it's like, I guess, a generic brand. I'm taking Ativan, and then I'm taking something called propranolol. That is, it helps. My doctor, my regular PC had told me that that's something, not my regular PC, but my psychiatrist had told me that that's something that a lot of people take that have bouts of anxiety, like before they do speeches or anything like that. It helps slow down their heart rate. So it like physically calms you down. I don't know what the Ativan does, but it helps. I take 2 of them before I leave the house, along with the propranolol, because I'm already getting like fidgety. I have, what's it called? My birthstone over here, if you can see it. But I get really anxious or being around people and going in the car and all that stuff. And I've told you guys stories how I've only gone on the highway a few times, and that was for like, because I don't know, I tittied up and did it. And I don't know, just like and it comes out of nowhere. I'll be fine, and then I'll be sitting down or I'm doing the dishes, and all of a sudden I just start getting anxious, and then all these thoughts come in my head, and I'm like, and I just get so overwhelmed, and I have to take a seat, and I don't know. But this dietitian, which I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, and because it is my personal health, I'm gonna go with how I feel. Because 1, my health, 2, I'm paying for it, and then 3, I don't think they're right. I'm not a dietitian by all means. I am not a dietitian at all. But I know that not flat out telling, suggesting. That sounded weird. Suggesting. There you go. That if I could talk to my psychiatrist about taking me off some of my meds so I can lose weight is a thing, I don't think we're the right fit. Only because I have suffered with mental issues my whole life. And I finally started getting treatment for them in my early 20s. And I've been treated for my mental health issues, which is a few, since then. The thing is that anybody with a disorder, once you're on an actually good, seeing good results with your medicine and everything, you start feeling good. And I don't mean good like, oh, I'm feeling high. I mean good as in you're mentally well. And you start seeing this cup, because I take my medicine in a cup at night. My husband brings it to me. It's a little teacup, and he puts it in. And then I'm supposed to take medicine in the morning. I take 11 pills. And that's not including my biotin, my calcium, my zinc, the multivitamins, the supplements. That's not including the supplements. I'm taking that many. And so it gets old. It gets tiring. It makes you feel, at least when I look at the little cup, and then I have one of those, I call them old lady strips. The ones where you push the button and it pops up, and then you have all your little pills for Monday and Tuesday. We call it my Monday, Tuesday. I know, so smart, right? But anyways, that you can't fit another pill in the little compartment. And I start thinking to myself, well, I've been doing so good. I've been feeling, not the greatest, but I'm not feeling bad, because I remember how bad it's bad. And I'm like, maybe I can stop. And so throughout the years, I have stopped. Never cold turkey, because that I do know you have to, any psychiatric medicine, you have to wean yourself off. That's why you wean yourself up and you wean yourself down before they switch you to something else. You don't just do it. So anyways, I have weaned myself off of them, and I'll be okay for maybe 2-3 weeks. And then it's like I'm sledding. I'm just going downhill really fast. And you don't know if I hit it in the bump in the road, how it's going to go. So for her to suggest for me to get off psychiatric medication so I can be less fat, I don't know if she equates fat with attractiveness or what, because my blood pressure is fine. I had a stroke when I was younger, in my early 20s. That does run in the family, but the weird thing is that we didn't have high blood pressure, so that's odd. So my blood pressure's fine. My, metabolic and systolic and all that stuff. It's all good. It's not even like on the upper end. It's like right there. Like a regular size healthy person, because I don't eat fast food. That's the thing. Everything that I eat, I make, unless I'm going out and, I go to a restaurant and we get some food. I don't consider that fast food. I call that eating out. It tends to be a little bit more, it's both. It's not the greatest. I mean, there's always ranges of options you can choose from a menu. You can do like really bad, like I give 0 fucks, or you can do, I'm eating out, but I'm still mindful. And that's how I do it. That's how I take it. And the food quality tends to be better than going to a drive-thru or ordering anything. So anyways, that's a tangent that I don't know where I was going with. I'm just saying 97% of my food I make at home, or my husband will cook, because he's man enough to get in that kitchen. I taught him how to make some foods, and those are the ones he does. No experimentation for him. know it sounds bad, but this one time he put cinnamon on salmon. I don't know if you're about it, but I am not. I So I understand having a glaze because I've made a mango glaze before for chicken. And I've made like a sweet glaze for shrimp. But I have not made a glaze for salmon. Salmon just, I want to taste the salmon flavor. I want only the basic. I want lemon. I want salt and pepper. I want maybe like a rosemary from like underneath, not on top, underneath. Like put 2 sprigs of it for the flavor to like kind of go up instead of just drenched down, and then it's like really in there. So it has to, so that way it makes it like a lighter rosemary flavor because it has to go through the skin and everything. But anyways, we're not at a cooking show. Maybe one day. But needless to say, after all this bramble that I was saying, I'm gonna not see her anymore. Right now, am not gonna be taking any weight loss injectables or weight loss anything. I am just gonna have to see what I can do with my diet, which is already not that bad. I mean, really, it's not that bad. I'm just a woman that went through menopause in her 30s and has mental issues, so is on antidepressants, and I have read the side effects on some of the ones because I'm like, really? Are you trying to blame them? And yeah, 2 out of the 3 that I take, weight gain is a thing. I have not gained weight, but I have not lost weight. And that's what I went to the dietitian for, to see where they could help me, because obviously I used to be extremely lean, and I was 124, but that was a different era in my life. You know, I was younger. I was extremely fit. And sometimes, I think I had a better relationship with food when I weighed 253 than when I weighed 124, to be honest. Not because obviously I was consuming more calories, but I was consuming them in the form of larger portions on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Larger portions of that. Instead of I did not grow up drinking soda because my mother never believed in that. I was raised by just my mom, and she's like, you want something sweet? She got us a juicer. We would juice oranges on the weekends, and that was our orange juice. We'd make carrot juice with a little bit of lime. It was really good. Or carrot juice and orange juice together. We didn't add sweeteners. It was its natural thing. So I would drink a Coke, a full-bodied Coke. Like, I don't know, once a day or once every 2 days. And things like that. I never went and drank a liter of Coke in a day, or I never went and ate a whole cake. I never went out and ate a Five Guys fries full meal. You know, anything like that. And the reason I bring up Five Guys fries meal is because I love their fries, you know? And when I started losing weight, I would still let myself have them. But I wasn't getting a burger. I wasn't getting a shake or a drink. I would go in there with my water and I'd order a small fry, and they always put more, like in the bag, if you know. So what I would do is I'd give the cup of fries to my husband, and I would eat what was in the bag. and that's how I let myself have them. So it was like mentally, it was a better relationship than when I was 124 and doing weightlifting, because I was eating 6 times a day. There was no diversity really in what I was eating. It was just willpower. I had a cheat meal, and it would be when my friend and I would go out. And by cheat meal, it wasn't like I ate dessert and then I ate the fattiest meal there. It was like either I'm having dessert or I'm having this really high calorie entree or meal, and that was it. But I'd be training for 3 hours a day, not all at once. I would get up and train for 1 hour, and then I'd go back and train with my friends for 2 hours. And that's what we did, because we were gym rats. We did that. We would go to each other's competitions. We would help each other and push each other. But food-wise, it was not the best. It was not the best. I was I'm eating 5 ounces of protein, of like meat. I was eating probably around 2 ounces every meal. I was eating 6 times a day, and it was 2 ounces of meat a day, and filling up on dark green vegetables. And after a workout, I would have they're so nasty just thinking about it, the EAS protein shake that was already pre-made. So it was like 90 calories for all this protein, and I'd have it right after. You have like an hour window after you're done working out for the protein to actually do something for you. So I would do it that. But all this ranting that I'm going on, it's already 21 minutes to say, my dietitian is like, you're fat. I'm like, I know. Can you get off of your mental medication? And I'm like, no, I can't. Not unless you want me to find out later that I'm in a hospital. So I'm too fat. I need to get off my psychiatric medication, or I need to take injection, or I can put on more weight and get a gastric bypass. Do you see? I mean, I just showed you a full body shot. I wasn't sucking anything in. I wasn't, that's just me. And it's either stop taking your psychs, start taking this injection, or let's do a bypass. And I'm just like, I called my husband. Well, I didn't call him because he's at work. So I texted him and I asked him if he could please call me during his lunch, and I talked to him briefly because I want him to have his lunch. And I just told him what she said, and he doesn't agree with it. And we're not talking about on how much it's going to be. We're not rich people, but if it's something that, I have really high blood pressure and I have diabetes, or I'm pre-diabetic, and this weight loss injection will help me lose the weight that I need to not be pre-diabetic or not have diabetes, would help me, we would both be on board. He even said that. But I have nothing like that. I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm nowhere near close to being pre-diabetic. I know because I had a physical last year when I weighed more than now. Not by a whole lot more. This wasn't at my heaviest at 253, but I had already started dropping weight, and my numbers are fine. My blood work is fine. And I'm just a old fat lady that wants to take her mental health more, like put it on a higher tier than weight loss. Like if my weight does become an issue and I find that I cannot walk a mile without huffing and puffing, if I find that I am pre-diabetic, if I find that my cholesterol is out of whack, if my health becomes a factor in it, yes, I'm not opposed to taking a weight loss medication. But I will stand firm, and my husband stands right next to me, of keeping my psych meds and for me to stay at this weight. And I'm like, babe, do you still find me attractive at this weight? And because I have a 253-pound mentality, I see people and I see me being that size. Like, I watch Girl World and I look, and Candy had lost so much weight. I do feel really bad for her that she's having to do mukbangs just to be able to pay rent. I think that is something that she should. We literally support people who don't try for themselves. This lady, this is all she's done. And she's at an age and her body has been so havocked by her weight and, yes, her decisions that she has made, that even if she lost all this weight, she would still have issues, you know? So therefore, I think this would be a perfect thing for her to be able to go. You know how there's WIC for women that don't have enough money but have children, for the children to get the nutrients that they need? Well, I think it should be like she should be having something available that can help her pay her rent or help her pay her bills, you know, or help her pay for her food and she can still make her YouTube money. But the whole reason that she's going back to mukbangs is because her viewership was going down so much that she doesn't have money to pay for her fucking food and rent. It makes no sense. It's like my doctor saying to me, well, injections are gain more weight and then we can give you a gastric bypass. Which, you know, if you need one, you need one. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not going to look at you any different. You obviously did it for a reason. But to tell me you either need to gain more weight or start getting off of your psych meds, it's totally wrong. And I think what is going on with Candy is totally wrong too. Like, there should be an infrastructure in place to help her and people like her that, you know, because we are now, it's going to be 2024. And we have, since the whole Rona thing started, everything was more remote. People were working remotely. Some people still stayed that way, and they only go to in person like once a week or once a month. Some people started a YouTube channel, it took off, and that's what they do. We are more on our phones, online, on social media than ever. So they should see this as her form of income and see that, you know, just like you can go on YouTube and look at your analytics, they can see that she's not making what she used to make and it's not enough to pay her rent and everything. And that should qualify her for help. Instead of being like, oh, well, you were making a good amount of money over here when you were stuffing your face. Why don't you go and do that? Does that sound okay to you? I don't think that's right. And that's kind of the position she's in. So anyways, I don't know. I just felt like saying something about it because I really empathize with her, because I went through a lot of shit. A lot of shit through my life. My life has not been easy. There is That's why I have a therapist. So, yes. I've gone through a lot. And I know what it can do to you. I mean, with her, you see what it has done to her. So I really feel for her. I have a special place for her in my heart. And it breaks my heart to see that she's having to go and do this just so she can pay her bills. She's not living lavishly, you guys. She just needs to make rent and pay that AC. I'm from Las Vegas. Well, that's not where I was born, but that's where I did the most growing up, in Las Vegas. And that electricity bill, apartment, house, whatever, is high. You cannot be without AC there. No, you can't. So I feel hardcore for her. And I wish her nothing but love. And anybody that sees this video, give me your opinions. What do you think? What would you do? I'm just going to try to, like, I don't write down what I eat. I keep a mental log of what I eat because I'm pretty good about that. I know pretty much, like, the shake is 170, the 2 eggs are 140, the yogurt is 170. So if I'm having 2 eggs, I'm not having the yogurt. If I'm having the yogurt and I have a shake later, that's 170 plus 170, that's 200, 340. I don't know, you guys, I'm not the best at math. But anyways, so it's like, it'll be like 340, and then dinner time, let's say I have a 500 calorie meal. That's 840 calories. What's wrong with that? Like, people would be like, you're under eating. And my husband's like, hey, babe, you're under eating. And I'm like, hey, babe, my freaking dietitian says I need to, like, tweak my diet because I'm too fat still. And yes, the number on the scale says I am too fat. You know, when I have to buy an extra large, it's telling me I am too fat. I mean, I can get away with larges here and there, depending on what it is. But on the average, I have been so fat that I'm not used to clothing really touching my body. Well, I mean, obviously I can feel it touching me, but like constricting in any way. I feel jeans are constricting. And so I don't know how to shop for jeans. I thought I was a size 14, so I bought a size 14, and because I figured, you know, I just looked at myself, and I'm like, okay, I've dropped this much weight, I should be this, let me buy a 14, because I'm an extra large on top, so I'm like, let me buy a 14. They come right off. I don't need to unbutton them or unzip them, they come right off. So I'm not a 14, but I buy a 12 because 13s are juniors. Juniors are not shaped like a woman. So I buy a 12 and it stays up, but I don't like feeling the band around my stomach. I don't like it's like I'm aware of it. And I don't know if it's because I used to be so big or what my issue is, but I just can't do it. And so my clothes is just always too big. And I'd rather have that than have my clothes be too tight or make me feel uncomfortable. And right now you saw me, I felt like I was half naked right there. I can't believe I'm posting this up. But I am, give me your thoughts, comments, suggestions. I am not, don't worry, I am not getting off my medications to be thin. And I am not going to gain weight so then I can go back and be thin through surgical means. So that is how it is. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna put this one up first before my weekend shenanigans that I did. That shouldn't be very long or whatever, but I want to get this one out first because I just got off the phone call with her not too long ago and I was upset. I would use other words, but hey, it doesn't even matter. I'm not monetized. I could use other words, but I'm a lady, so we won't. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.